Okay students, so in previous video that we discussed that what actually the genetic material and what character actually genetic material should follow to say it is a standard genetic material. Okay, so in this video we are going to continue that what actually the components of genetic material. Okay, so that is what the components of genetic material. So all genetic material irrespective of DNA or RNA, they are going to have three very important component. That is, the first one nitrogen bases, second one pentose sugar, third one phosphoric acid. So whether it may be a DNA or RNA, they should follow or they should have all these three component, then only it is called the stable genetic material, or it is called genetic material. To construct DNA and RNA, cell require all these three component. What is that? Nitrogen bases as well as pentose sugar as well as the phosphoric acid. Okay, so let's see what actually this component, how they are what you called build off of, and how they are going to help in construction of the DNA. Okay, the first we'll start with nitrogen base. The nitrogen base, the first time was discovered. Okay, so first time nitrogen base annodu DNA ಅಥವಾ RNA ಅಥವಾ genetic material ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ first identify ಅಥವಾ discover ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಯಾರು? That is Fischer in the year 1880. 1880 ರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು first ಇದನ್ನ discover ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. So he identified, so it is a DNA or it is a RNA which is having the nitrogen base ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ identify ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. Isolate ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ, just he identified what actually the present in the or basic component of the genetic material. That is what the nitrogen bases. The nitrogen bases are of two types. Okay, so ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು type nitrogen bases ನ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. Okay, the first one, the first kind of nitrogen base that what we can see here, that is purines. Okay, they are purines. Okay, so what they are? They are purines. Okay, the first kind of nitrogen base that what we have here in case of DNA or maybe in RNA, that is purines. Second kind of nitrogen base are pyrimidines. Okay, what they are? First kind of nitrogen bases are purines, and second type of nitrogen base that what actually present either in case of DNA or RNA, that is purines as well as pyrimidines. Okay, so purines and pyrimidines are both are nitrogen bases. Okay, these both are what? Nitrogen bases. So first thing what we have to discuss here, what is the meaning of nitrogen base? Okay, so nitrogen base ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಯಾಕೆ ಕರೀತಾರೆ? So what do you mean by nitrogen base? Nitrogen base means this all, that is purines or pyrimidines, they have nitrogen in their structure. Okay, so ಏನು ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ? So nitrogen ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ nitrogen ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ nitrogen base ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Okay, so they have the more nitrogen or the nitrogen number is more in case of their ring, that's why they are called nitrogen. So main ring of these molecules, okay, they are ringed structure. The main ring of these molecules are made up of the nitrogen. Carbon ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ, but also they are made up of nitrogen. That's what is called nitrogen base. Okay, you can see here in case of purine there are two types of purines. Okay, the first one is adenine. Okay, the first nitrogen base which is present in a group purine is adenine, and second kind, that is guanine. Okay, that is second type is what? The guanine. So we have two types of purines. One is adenine, second one is a guanine. Okay, so pyrimidines. So pyrimidines are of three types. Okay, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ three types pyrimidine ನಾವು ನೋಡಬಹುದು. Modification ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ three types pyrimidine ನೋಡಬಹುದು. The first one, what is that? Cytosine. Okay, the first one is what? The cytosine. Okay, the cytosine is a first kind of pyramidine. Second one, thymine. Second one is thymine. So this thymine is modified in case of RNA and converted to a new kind of nitrogen base. That new kind of nitrogen base, or the mutated nitrogen base you can say, or just slight change of nitrogen base or structure you can say, that is uracil. Okay, so what we have here in case of purines, we have two kinds of purine. One is called adenine and second one is called guanine. And in case of pyrimidines, we have three different kinds of pyrimidine, that is cytosine, thymine as well as uracil. Okay, so the cytosine, thymine and uracil, all three are not present at a time in a one kind of DNA material or one kind of RNA material. Okay, so one day genetic material alli ಮೂರು ಒಂದೇ ಸಾರಿ ಕಾಣಲ್ಲ. So cytosine as well as thymine, both are present in DNA. You can get both at one time in a DNA, or cytosine and uracil you are going to get in case of RNA. Okay, so DNA alli now ಒಂದೇ time alli cytosine ಮತ್ತೆ thymine na ನೋಡಬಹುದು. Okay, so what we can see, that is cytosine and thymine in case of the DNA, and in case of RNA. So when you are going to construct the RNA, so consider if we are studying the RNA structure, then we are going to get what? Cytosine and uracil, not thymine. So thymine namgili sigalla, so we are going to get what? Only cytosine and uracil. But in case of the pyramine, or what you call purines, okay, in case of purines we are going to get only two types, that is adenine and guanine. So this both are present in case of both. It may be DNA or RNA. Okay, DNA ಮತ್ತು RNA ಎರಡೂದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅಡೆನೈನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಗುವಾನೈನ್ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. ಬಟ್ DNA ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು RNA ಅಲ್ಲಿ so there is a slight change, that is cytosine and thymine we can get in case of the DNA, and cytosine and uracil we are going to get in case of the RNA. So to construct the RNA we need pyrimidine called cytosine and uracil. To construct the DNA we need the pyrimidine called cytosine and thymine. Okay, artha aita? So there are two different kind of what? The nitrogen bases. What they are? Adenine and guanine. Okay, and pyrimidines of three types. They are cytosine, thymine as well as uracil. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ slight change ಆಗಿ thymine ಇಂದ ಅಥವಾ uracil ಇಂದ thymine ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಗೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್, ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗುವಾಗ ಯುರಾಸಿಲ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿ ಥೈಮಿನ್ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಊಹೆನ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಪ್ರಿಡಿಕ್ಟ್ ಸಮ್ ವಾಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಯುರಾಸಿಲ್ ಈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಫೈಡ್ ಟು ಬಿಕಮ್ ಅ thymine. Okay, this is how we are going to get the slight change in case of uracil as well as thymine. Okay, so ಏನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಅದಪ್ಪ ಇಲ್ಲಿ? ಓನ್ಲಿ ದ ಚೇಂಜ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ CH3 ಗ್ರೂಪ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೇ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ನ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ನೀವು ನೋಡಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಲುಕ್ ಅಟ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಥೈಮಿನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಯುರಾಸಿಲ್, there is a slight change in case of the attachment of CH3 to the certain position. Okay, so in case of thymine, there is a presence of CH3 group, but in case of the uracil, that CH3 group is absent. That's why the uracil and thymine is having a slight change, just a presence and absence of CH3 group. So ಈ CH3 group ಇಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ನ ನಾವು ನೋಡಬಹುದು, ಅಥವಾ ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. ಸೊ if CH3 is present, that particular pyrimidine is called thymine. If it is absent, that ring is called uracil. Okay, so what is the speciality of purine and pyrimidine? Okay, so ಯಾಕೆ ನಾವು purine and pyrimidine ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೆಸರಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ? So let's see. So when you look at the purines, so purines are having two ringed structure. Okay, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ two ringed structure ಕಾಣ್ತದೆ. Okay, so one is with a 6 what we called carbon and nitrogen group. Okay, so carbon nitrogen combine ಇರುವಂತ ಒಂದು 6 ringed structure, 6 molecule string ringed structure ನೋಡಬಹುದು. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನಾವು ನೋಡಬಹುದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ 5 ring. Okay, so we can see one more attachment, that is 5. Okay, this is the first primary ring and this one is a second ring. Okay, so we can see 2 ring, double ringed structure. So purines are what? Double ringed structure. Okay, and the pyrimidines are single ringed structure. Okay, so ಎಷ್ಟು ring ಇದವಪ್ಪ ಇಲ್ಲಿ pyrimidinally? We can see only one ring. So one ring can be seen in case of the pyrimidine and 2 ring can be seen in case of purines. Okay, so one more difference if you are going to what we called consider between the purine and pyrimidine. So purines are having nitrogen in their position first, third, 7th and 9th. Okay, so you can see here 4 nitrogens. Okay, so you are going to see in a ring you are going to get 4 nitrogens. So where? In case of purines. Okay, so purine alli namage 4 nitrogen na nodabodu. Position yavudu? Position 1, position 3 as well as position 7 as well as position 9. So ಇದನ್ನ ring ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಬಹುದು positions? This is position 1, position 3, this is 1, this is 3, this one position 7 and this one is position 9. Okay, so we are going to get 4, okay, totally 4 nitrogen in case of what? In case of purines. In case of pyrimidines we are going to get only 2 nitrogens. We are going to get only 2 nitrogen, that is in first position and third position. This one is a position 1, this one is a position 3. So we are going to get only 2 nitrogen. That is a major difference that what we can see in case of purines as well as pyrimidines. One difference nodabodu, primary difference, that is ring. The number of ring in case of purine is 2 and number of ring in case of pyrimidine is 1. And the position is only 1 and 3 in case of pyrimidine in position, nitrogen position, or number of nitrogens in case of the specifically the purine is 1, 3, 7 and 9. Okay, so you can see the difference, what actually the difference between purine and pyrimidine. Artha aita? Okay, so this is regarding the nitrogen base and 2 different kind of nitrogen base. Let's go to the next one, pentose sugar. Okay, so pentose sugar is also what we call one of the important component. Okay, what we can say, that is a very important component for construction of the what we can say that DNA or RNA or genetic material. Okay, so you can say this pentose sugar, which is going to form a long polymer chain, is a backbone, the most important backbone for genetic material. Okay, so in case of pentose sugar also we can see 2 different kind of pentose sugars. Okay, there are 2 different kind of pentose sugar. So first kind of pentose sugar is deoxyribose. Okay, the first kind of pentose sugar is deoxyribose pentose sugar, which is present in only DNA. Okay, idu DNA alli matra irodrinda this is called deoxyribose pentose sugar, or the chemical structure, then one we are going to study, that I am going to explain. Okay, so next one, that is ribose. Okay, next one is ribose. So one is deoxyribose, second one is ribose. Ribose is present only in RNA. Okay, so DNA alli yavudide, that is deoxyribose. In RNA what we have? We have ribose sugar. So what is the difference between ribose and deoxyribose? When you are going to look at the structure, then you are able to understand very easily what actually the ribose and deoxyribose sugar. Okay, so here I am going to draw, that is ribose and deoxyribose. Okay, so this is the main common structure that what we can see in case of ribose as well as deoxyribose. So common agi ee ring na navilli nodabodu. Okay, so difference enadappa, that is here also same, that is position 1, carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4, carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4. So one more carbon is present outside here. Here it is outside the ring. Okay, so here we are going to get H, OH. Okay, so here we are going to get H, H. Here we are going to get H and OH. Here we are going to get H, CH, CH3, sorry, CH2OH. Okay, so here we are going to get CH2OH in case of fifth carbon, and here we are going to get OH, and here HH, and here HOH. Here also the same thing, that is same HOH. Here also we are going to get same HOH. Here also we are going to get same CH2OH. Okay, CH2OH, sorry. So main difference is the presence of HOH group in carbon 2. So you can see that is carbon 2 is having these two functional group in case of RNA and one functional group in case of DNA. Okay, so DNA nodidaga you are going to get what? The two what you called here OH, H. So in case of RNA you are going to get two OH functional group, and here you are going to get only one functional group. So it is one functional group. Okay, and here it is having two functional. Okay, so because of two functional group in case of RNA, it is highly reactive athwa more reactive. Okay, so can you see? Yes, more reactive. Okay, so this one is less reactive, and you can say more stable and less stable. Okay, so RNA is less stable and DNA is more stable. So how many types of pentose sugars we have? We have two different kind of pentose sugars. The first one is called deoxyribose and second one is called ribose, and the deoxyribose is more stable because of one functional group and ribose is less stable because of two functional group. That is the change in case of the second position or second carbon of the pentose sugar ring. Okay, so ee ring alli now nodidaga, so you can see that is what we called actually the variation in case of the sugar molecule is going to make the one component stable and one component the unstable. Okay, so this is regarding what? The pentose sugar. Next one, the last very important component, that is phosphoric acid. So the chemical formula H3PO4. Okay, so that is H3PO4. So you can see the structure somewhat like this: phosphate at the center and double bond O here, OH here, OH here and OH here. Okay, that is H3PO4. So this is the one of the most important component in case of the DNA. So if we have only pentose sugar, if we have only what we call the nitrogen base, then it is highly impossible to construct the DNA. So why? Because to bond to different what we called monomers of this ribose sugar or deoxyribose sugar, we need a adhesive. Okay, avana join ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಈಗ DNA construct ಆಗುವಾಗ, so we are going to get what we called the two components. Okay, so consider ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, this one is the one ribose sugar, this or any kind of pentose sugar, this is a one kind of pentose sugar. If they are going to arrange one above the other like this, there should be a something to link them. Okay, ಇವನ್ ಎರಡು ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಬೇಕಪ್ಪ, ಗ್ಲೂ ಬೇಕಪ್ಪ. ಸೊ ಗ್ಲೂ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಬೇಕಪ್ಪ. ಸೊ ಟು ಅದನ್ನ ಹಿಡಿದಿಟ್ಟುಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಬೇಕು. ಆ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಯಾವುದು? ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಾಸ್ಫರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಫಾಸ್ಫರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಆರ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರೆಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ in the form of what you called the acid, okay, because of the acid, the acidic nature of the DNA and RNA can be judged. Okay, so why DNA and RNA are acidic? Okay, so now DNA ಮತ್ತು RNA ನ deoxyribonucleic acid and ribose nucleic acid ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So why they are acidic? What nature is going to cause this acidic property, or going to put a property of acidic nature to the particularly you can say that is to the DNA and RNA? That is because of this phosphoric acid. So phosphoric acid ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ DNA ಮತ್ತು RNA ಗೆ ಒಂದು acidic nature ಬರ್ತದೆ. Okay, so this actually is going to play a very important role in case of holding the DNA monomers. Okay, so monomers are nothing but the two different kind of sugar molecules with that of the nitrogen base. Okay, so what you call, one may be having the bonding with that of the adenine, one may be having the bonding with that of the cytosine, one may be having with the thymidine, one may be having with the cytosine as well as the uracil. Okay, thymidine. So like this what you call different kind of what you called the monomers we are going to get. If the monomers has to be hold together to construct the DNA or RNA, so we need this phosphoric acid is going to act like a holding molecule or adhesive molecule. So because of it we are going to get the acidic nature of DNA. So why the DNA and RNA are acidic? Because of the phosphoric acid group or phosphate group. Now idana common agi biologically phosphate group anta karitive. So why it is what you called acidic, the DNA and RNA? Because of phosphoric group. Okay, so this is regarding the what, the three different main component of the genetic material. So genetic material ಯಾವದಪ್ಪ? DNA ಮತ್ತು RNA ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು. DNA ಮತ್ತು RNA ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಈ ಮೂರು ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. What is that? The nitrogen bases. Nitrogen bases are two type. Okay, so you can see nitrogen bases are two type. One is purine, second one is a pyrimidine. So purines are of two type. What they are? Adenine and guanine, and they have double ringed structure. In this double ring, okay, they are having double ringed structure. In this double ringed structure we can get 4 nitrogen position in a ring. Okay, that is in a first position, third position, 7th position and 9th position. And in case of pyrimidine you are going to get three different kind of pyrimidine. One is cytosine, thymidine as well as uracil. So cytosine and thymidine are present in the DNA, and cytosine and uracil are present in case of RNA. So the difference between thymine as well as the what you call uracil is the presence of CH3 group. Okay, so only one CH3 group is going to change the property of this chemical and going to what you call modify them from one to another, or going to separate them from, or going to what you call show the different kind of molecular formula. Okay, so because of this CH3 group. Okay, so how many rings we have in case of the pyrimidine? That is, we have only one ring in case of pyrimidine, and in one ring we are going to get two nitrogen. One is at the first position, one is at the third position. So for your convenience I have already marked here where actually the first and third position can be seen. This one is the first, this one is the third. In case of purines, first, third, 7th and 9th position. So why I am what you called concentrating on this position of the nitrogen? They play a very crucial role in case of DNA structure. DNA structure ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೇನು sugar, phosphate ಮತ್ತೆ nitrogen base ಬೇಕು ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಈ specific position ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. Okay, so how they are going to react and which nitrogen is going to react with that of the sugar and which carbon is going to react with that of the phosphate is very important. So because of that we are going to get the polarity in case of the DNA and RNA. So please concentrate on this. Okay, so polarity. So polarity ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ? Poles. Okay, so two different poles in a DNA is possible because of this particular position occupied by the nitrogen as well as the attachment of the phosphate to the specific part of the what you call pentose sugar. Adu hege, yake, yavaga ಹಂಗೆ ಆಗ್ತದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿಯೋಣಂತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಟೂ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ molecules, that is purine and pyrimidine. Okay, next one, pentose sugar. So pentose sugar are two types, one is deoxyribose, one is ribose. So ನಾವೇನ್ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, two different kind of pentose sugars, one is ribose, one is deoxyribose. So you know very well why it is so called, because here in case of deoxyribose we are going to get only one functional group. In case of the ribose we are going to get two functional groups. Okay, so ಎರಡು functional groups. So position 2 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ DNA ಶುಗರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಡಿಆಕ್ಸಿರೈಬೋಸ್ ಶುಗರ್ ಮೋರ್ ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿನ ಗಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತದ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಓನ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಓಕೆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೈಬೋಸ್ ಶುಗರ್ ತನ್ನ ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿನ ಕಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತದಂದ್ರೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಯಾಕೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತದಪ್ಪ? ಸೊ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅ ಮೋರ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ and this one is going to act like a less reactive molecule. Okay, so this is going to give what you called the one of the very important step in case of the evolutionary change. Okay, so ನೋಡಬಹುದು ನೀವು ವೈರಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು what called virons. Okay, so ಏನಿದಾವಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು RNA ನೋಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ they are not so evolved, that is as we are able to what you called evolve in our body position. Okay, or maybe in a body structure. Okay, evolve ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. So RNA is not what you called giving them that kind of evolution, but molecularly they may be evolved and going to modify themselves and able to adapt for the new environment and able to what you called find a new host. Okay, so virus ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಮೋರ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಅಥವಾ ಲೆಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್ RNA ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಬಹಳ ಬೇಗನೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಹಳ ವೈರುಲೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಮೋರ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಕಾಲ್ ಡೇಂಜರಸ್ ಟು ದಿ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವೈ ದಿ ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದಿ RNA ಈಸ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ದೇರ್ virulency or maybe in what you called their ability to infect the different kind of organism. Okay, so next one, that is it is having only one oxygen in case of the third position and no oxygen at the second position. That's why it is going to form a new or the more stability and not able to react so fast as we can see in case of the RNA and become a more stable molecule. Okay, so to attach this thing, the monomers, we need a glue like ಅಥವಾ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ಹೋಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ದಟ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಫಾಸ್ಫರಿಕ್ acid. So we have the phosphoric acid, that is H3PO4. So because of presence of this phosphoric acid we are able to get the acidic nature in case of DNA as well as RNA. Genetic material alli acidic nature barodu yaudrinda, the presence of phosphoric acid inda. So this video is going to give you the information regarding the component of the genetic material. Okay, so we'll stop here, we'll discuss next thing in next video. Okay students, we'll continue with the same thing, that is in this video, that is components of genetic material. So in previous video we studied about what actually the genetic material and how actually the genetic material is what you call going to play an important role and what are the components of the genetic material. Okay, so now when kaltve alli what is nitrogen base, what is pentose sugar in case of both DNA and RNA, what is the role of phosphoric acid. Okay, so the structure kuda namu nodidvi. Okay, so these are the three components that what actually the DNA or RNA or genetic material is made up of. Okay, so are they independent or they are able to react and going to form a specific structure? Okay, so DNA construct agogina munche ee molecules react ಆಗ್ತಾವ ಅಥವಾ ಹೇಗಿದ್ದಿರ್ತದೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ. Okay, so for example, ಈಗ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ what you called the sugar ಮತ್ತೆ ಪೆಂಟೋ what you call that is phosphoric acid ನ ನಾವು ಮೂರನ್ನು ಕೂಡಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ DNA ಸಿಕ್ ಬಿಡ್ತದ? No. There is the important what you called step in case of formation of this what you called the DNA by interaction of these molecules. Okay, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದಪ್ಪ ಎರಡರ ನಡುವೆ ಈ ಮೂರು ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ನಡುವೆ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಬಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಸೊ in this video we are going to study what kind of bonds are going to form here and how actually that bonds are going to help in formation of new chemical or collaboration of chemical. Okay, so let's study or let's start that how actually the reaction takes place between the nitrogen base, pentose sugar as well as the phosphoric acid, and how the new molecules are going to form for the construction of the stable what we called the genetic material like DNA and RNA. Okay, so when there is a reaction of this three molecule takes place, we are going to get two important thing. One is called nucleosides. Okay, the first one is called nucleosides. Second one is called nucleotides. Okay, so ನಾವು DNA ನ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ DNA ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಆ ಮೂರು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಏನಿತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಬೇಸ್, pentose sugar and PO4 molecule. Okay, so that is the phosphoric acid. So all three has to react. Okay, they have to react and able to form some stable molecules. Okay, so first one yavadu nucleosides. Okay, nucleosides andre enappa? So when the nitrogen bases get react with pentose sugar, that particular complex or the component formed by the reaction of this two molecule is called nucleoside. Okay, so iveredu join ಆದಾಗ ಬರುವಂತ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೋಸೈಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Okay, so what is nucleotide? When the nucleoside is or nucleosides of many nucleosides of this group are going to react with H3PO4 or phosphoric acid. If they are going to form one molecule or one monomer, then that particular component is called nucleotide. Okay, so nitrogen base ಮತ್ತೆ pentose sugar react ಆದಾಗ ಬರುವಂತ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೋಸೈಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೋಸೈಡ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಫಾಸ್ಫೇಟ್ ಅಥವಾ what you called phosphoric acid react ಆದಾಗ ಬರುವಂತ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೋಟೈಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Okay, so how the nucleotides and nucleosides are going to be named, that what we are going to study now. Okay, so how the nitrogen base and pentose sugar is going to change. Okay, ಅದನ್ನ react ಆದಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೊಸ ಹೆಸರು ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. So what is that name, that what we are going to study now. Okay, so how many types of nitrogen bases are there? That is adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine and uracil. So ivella enivu, they are all the what we call a kind of the nitrogen bases. So when this nitrogen bases are going to react with the pentose sugar, okay, so then the name is going to be changed here. So aವಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅದರ ಹೆಸರನ್ನ ನಾವು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. What is that? Adenine plus pentose sugar. Okay, so what is that? Adenine plus pentose sugar is going to react and going to form adenosine. Okay, so what is that? Is going to react to form adenosine. Okay, so this is a new name of complex. What is that complex? Complex is made up of nitrogen base plus pentose sugar. That is what we call adenosine. What is adenosine? Adenosine is a nucleoside. Okay, enidu nucleoside. This one is nucleoside. Adenosine is a nucleoside. So if the guanine is going to react with a pentose sugar, that is going to form guanosine. Okay, same cytidine. Okay, and same pentose sugar. Ella kade pentose sugar na react ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನು ಬರ್ತದೆ? That is what we call, that is guanine is going to react with the pentose sugar, is going to form guanosine. Okay, so cytosine is going to react with the what actually? Pentose sugar is going to form cytidine. Thymine is going to react with the pentose sugar, thymidine. Okay, is going to form what? Thymidine. And uracil, okay, is going to react with what we call the pentose sugar is called uridine. Okay, so these all are what? The nucleosides. Okay, ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅದು? That is uridine, thymidine, adenosine, guanosine as well as cytidine. So these all are what? The kind of what? The nucleosides. Okay, so ಏನು prepare ಆಯ್ತು ಈಗ? Reaction of nitrogen base with a pentose sugar is going to form what? For what? That is what? The reaction is going to result in the nucleoside formation. So adenine going to form adenosine, guanine, guanosine, cytidine, cytosine, cytidine, thymine, thymidine, and uracil, uridine. So this is what we call the formation of the what? The pentose sugar and the nitrogen base reaction and formation of nucleoside. So this particular adenine or adenosine, okay, is going to react with phosphate or phosphoric acid. Okay, so ಇದನ್ನ phosphoric acid ಜೊತೆ react ಆದಾಗ ಏನು ಸಿಗ್ತದಪ್ಪ ನಮಗೆ? So when we are going to what you called see the reaction between the what you call nucleoside and the phosphate or the phosphoric group or phosphoric acid group. Okay, so we are going to get the new component. So what is that new component? So that is first one, the when the adenine and going to sugar going to react with the adenosine, going to form adenosine, and it is going to react with the what you called the acid, that is a phosphoric acid. Now this component which is going to output or what output we are going to come out of this particular reaction is going to called deoxy adenosine monophosphate. Okay, that is what we call deoxy adenosine monophosphate. Okay, so I am going to turn the mobile, please check this. Deoxy adenosine monophosphate. So ಏನಾಗ್ತದಲ್ಲಿ? So when adenosine is going to react with the phosphate or phosphoric acid group is going to form deoxy adenosine monophosphate. So what next? Guanosine is going to form deoxy guanosine monophosphate. Cytosine is going to form deoxycytidine monophosphate. Thymidine, deoxythymidine monophosphate. Uracil or uridine, deoxyuridine monophosphate. So this is what the final compound, that is what we call nucleotide. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೋಟೈಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So first what? The reaction of nitrogen base with a pentose sugar to form one component. Later this nucleotide is going to form and going to react with the one more component, that is the acid or phosphoric acid, and going to form one more component. So what is that? deoxyadenine monophosphate, deoxyguanosine monophosphate, and deoxycytidine monophosphate, deoxythymidine monophosphate, and deoxyuridine monophosphate. Okay, this is how actually the DNA what we call monomers or blocks or units of the DNA are going to form. Okay, so ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ಅದು ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟ್ ಆದರೆ ಆ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ನೇಚರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕಾಣ್ತದಪ್ಪ, ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡ್ರಾ ಹಿಯರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್? Just consider what is that? Just consider this one is a pentose sugar attached with any nitrogen base. This is pentose sugar, nitrogen base, and the fifth position of the pentose sugar is with the phosphate. Okay, this is minimized structure. This is what we call nucleotide. So this nucleotide is going to react with one more nucleotide. Very interesting. Look at this. Okay, so that is one more nucleotide. One more nucleotide. Okay, so like this, one above the other, the molecules, these are what we call monomers. Okay, the monomers of the DNA molecule. Okay, so DNA molecule monomers anta karibodu. You can see the many molecules one above the other. So illi kelagade ondu irbodu hige. What is that? The pentose sugar, nitrogen base, as well as the phosphate. Okay, so this one is the fifth position. Okay, this is carbon is the fifth position. Here you have a third position. Here third position, fifth position, third position, fifth position. Okay, so now it is very important. Okay, so the DNA is going to form now. Okay, so what is that? When the phosphate of one nucleotide is going to react with third carbon of another one, they are going to form a bond. Okay, so again this is going to react with this one. Okay, so this bond what is going to form between the what we called one above the other situated nucleotides is going to construct a long DNA. Okay, ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿ ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ನಾವು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿ ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ this is one unit is going to react with a second unit, is going to react with a third unit, is going to react with a fourth unit, is going to react with a fifth unit, so on. Okay, this is how a long chain, single strand of DNA is going to be constructed. Okay, so you can see here that is one unit, second unit, third unit. Okay, so this is how actually the DNA is going to form. So different kind of bonds we are going to get here. So I'm going to rub this. Okay, so different kind of bonds we are going to see here. The first one, the bond which is going to form between the what we called the pentose sugar as well as the nitrogen base is called glycosidic bond. So sugar in the ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಬೇರೆ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಇಂದ ಒಂದು ಬಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಗ್ಲೈಕೋಸಿಡಿಕ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದಿ ಟೂ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ phosphodiester bond. Okay, phosphodiester bond. So why it is called phosphodiester bond? Because this one is one ester, then one more ester, and both are going to be held by only one. That's what is called phosphodiester bond. Okay, so this diester bond is going to hold two monomers and going to stabilize the DNA molecule. Okay, so that is what the two different kind of bonds we are going to get here. So one more kind of bond, it is a very simple bond between the what we called the two different kind of nitrogen base of another side is going to form here. That what we are going to detail in next class, and simply I am going to tell you that is this bond is what we called hydrogen bond. Okay, so usually we are going to get three bonds here. So one is what we call the phosphodiester bond, glycosidic bond, as well as the hydrogen bonds. Okay, so in next video we are going to study how actually the DNA is and how it is going to be constructed. Okay, so please go through this video, and if you have any doubt, please message me. Hi students, so in previous video we come across what actually the raw material is required for the DNA synthesis or the construction of the DNA, and also we come across how actually the interaction of the molecule takes place in case of formation of those complex things or complex the building blocks, for example nucleoside and nucleotide. So moreover I am going to repeat once again the same thing. So before that, in this video especially we are going to concentrate on the structure of the DNA. Okay, so you know very well what is DNA. DNA is what? DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid, a genetic material which is present in all kind of organism as a basic material to send the information from one generation to another generation. Okay, so first we will take a look at those scientists who worked on the DNA and given a different kind of what we call views regarding the DNA, as well as some coined the term, some did the research on it, and some worked on the structure of the DNA, okay, to analyze the structure of DNA. So one by one we are going to study in this particular video. So we are mainly concentrating on the structure of DNA. Okay, let's start. So first thing what we have to study here, the person who identified the DNA first, that is the DNA is identified by, the presence of the DNA is in case of cell as well as in case of nucleus is identified by, that is Friedrich Mischer. Okay, the person called Friedrich Mischer, he identified what we called a kind of the material in case of pus cells. Okay, so ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ಲ pus cells andre the cells which are present in the pus andre kivu. Okay, so the pus cells, and he named that particular material as nucleon. Okay, it is going, he named it as a nucleon. Okay, so that's why the first what we call the DNA, presence of the DNA identified by, that is Friedrich Mischer. Okay, so later the term, that is the DNA, okay, the term DNA is coined by the scientist called Zacharias. Okay, so Zacharias, he coined the term the DNA, and later in the year 1889, okay, so in the year 1889 the scientist called Altman, okay, Altman, he worked on the DNA and he named the DNA as nucleic acid. So because of its property, the acidic property, he come to know that the what we call the DNA which is present in the nucleus or maybe the pus cells, what actually identified by the Friedrich Mischer, is acidic in nature. That's why that particular thing is the nucleus, the material what is there in the nucleus is acidic in nature. That's why it is called nucleic acid. Okay, so it is present in the nucleus and acidic in nature, so called nucleic acid. Okay, so later the most important work done or the contribution to the development of the DNA structure was done by two scientists, that is Rosalind Franklin as well as Muriel Wilkins. Okay, so Muriel Wilkins as well as Rosalind Franklin both worked on a method called X-ray diffraction. X-ray diffraction. So this, by using the method called X-ray diffraction, they tried to analyze the structure of DNA. So actually they identified that DNA is circular, not linear, but actually they are not able to complete their project or complete their research because of some limitation. Okay, so limitation in their data collection, they are not able to complete this, and they concluded by saying that the DNA is just what we call a coil-like structure. It is not linear as like other chemicals. It is not a linearly arranged. It is having the coil. So that coil is made up of two different kind of chain. Okay, so that strand, that what we are going to study in this particular DNA structure, that is what they call strand. That strand is nothing but a kind of strings, two different kind of strings like structure, or two different the chemicals they attached and they made, or the polymers attached and they made the DNA anta avaru conclusion ಕೊಟ್ಟರು. So later, by using the database of this X-ray diffraction done by Rosalind Franklin as well as Murray's Wilkins, so they worked, two scientists worked on the specific database given by these two scientists, and they are able to establish a well accepted model of DNA, that is what we called the double helix structure. Okay, so that is what we call double helix structure. Okay, so this double helix structure is based on the X-ray diffraction study done by the Rosalind Franklin as well as the Murray's. Okay, so actually this all thing was done by the Watson as well as Crick. Okay, so James Watson and the Crick both worked on the database what actually given by the Rosalind Franklin and the Murray's, and they constructed on the basis of their database what they actually studied. On that base they constructed the real structure of DNA. That's why the DNA what we are going to study now, the structure of the DNA what we are going to study now, it is popularly known as Watson and Crick model of double helix structure of DNA. Okay, ಅದನ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, Watson and Crick model of double helix structure of DNA anta karitare. Okay, so because of their work we are now able to what we call see the presence of the DNA in case of the nucleus as well as its molecular structure also. Okay, so that what we are going to study in this particular video. Okay, let's start that. Let's study the structure of the DNA in detail. Okay, so we know very well that is DNA is made up of what? DNA is made up of three basic biomolecules. These three basic biomolecules are, the first one nitrogen bases, second one pentose sugar, and the third one phosphoric acid. Okay, so yesterday we have three different kind of the what we call the chemicals. Okay, so which are belongs to different kind of group and made a beautiful DNA structure. Okay, so what we have here, nitrogen bases, pentose sugar as well as phosphoric acid. Okay, so we are going to use, you know very well, different kind of nitrogen bases we have, and here we are going to use in a construction of, or you can see the construction of the DNA is done by A, T and G and C. Okay, A, T and A, T, G and C. So adenine, thymine, guanine and cytosine. Okay, so these are the four nitrogen bases which are mainly required in case of the construction of DNA. And which pentose sugar we are going to use here? We can see in case of DNA, that is deoxyribose pentose sugar. Okay, so which pentose sugar? Deoxyribose pentose sugar. ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಟುಕೊಳ್ಳ್ರಿ, ನಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೈಪ್ pentose sugar ನ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ನಾವು? Two types of pentose sugar. One is deoxyribose and second one is ribose. So in case of DNA we have deoxyribose pentose sugar. Okay, so the third one, phosphate. Okay, the phosphoric acid, that is in the form of H3PO4. Okay, so we have phosphoric acid. So I told you already what is the role of phosphoric acid. Okay, so by this combination of this all three chemicals, that what we are going to get, that is very basic building molecules or building blocks of the what we called the DNA, that is Okay, so what we are going to get here? We are going to get nucleotides. So let's see how actually the nucleotides look like. Okay, so let's consider the all basic needs of the DNA and consider what we call, we construct the nucleotide. Okay, so nucleotides. Okay, so we have 4 different kind of nucleotides. Okay, so that already we know, that previous video we studied that we have 4 different kind of nucleotides. Okay, so first I will try to construct one here, so later we will go through the remaining one. Okay, so that what we have to make the nucleotide, we need first the pentose sugar. Okay, so yen bekilli pentose sugar. So pentose sugar is having how many carbon? It is having 5 carbons. So pentose sugar, it is having 5 carbon, 4 carbon in the ring, and 5th carbon is present as, okay, so outside the ring. Okay, that is as a CH2OH. So we can see here the 5th carbon is present at this site. Okay, so here what we have? We have OH and H. Here we have H and H. Here we have H and OH, and here we have H. Okay, this is the structure of pentose sugar. Okay, so what we require now? We require the phosphate. So phosphate is here, that is OH, OH, OH as well as O. Okay, this is a phosphoric acid, phosphate which required for the binding of the molecule, that is here. So one more thing what we require here, that is pentose sugar, sorry, the nitrogen base. Okay, so nitrogen base is like this. What is that? Okay, so I am going to draw here any one of the nitrogen base. So I am drawing here the pyrimidine. Okay, so I am not drawing here purines. So I am drawing here pyrimidine. Consider whether it is maybe any kind of pyrimidine. It may be the guanosine as well as the guanine as well as cytosine. Okay, so sorry, the thymidine or maybe the cytosine. Okay, so ಯಾವುದಾದರೂ ಇರಬಹುದು, T ಅಥವಾ G ಯಾವುದಾದರೂ C ಅಥವಾ T ಯಾವುದಾದರೂ ಇರಲಿ, that is the pyrimidine that I am going to draw here. So this pyrimidine is having how many what we call nitrogen? Yes, that is 2 nitrogen, one at the here as a NH, okay, and one more is here as a NH. Okay, so ಎರಡಲ್ಲಿ nitrogen ಇರ್ತದೆ. Okay, so already I told you that first carbon, okay, of pentose sugar is going to react with first nitrogen of the what? The pyrimidines. Okay, so that's why we are going to get bond here. So here there is an interaction between the OH and H of these 2 chemicals and going to liberate H2O outside, and bond is going to form. Ali one bond form ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Okay, so this bond is going to held. Okay, sorry, it's going to form between the C and the N. Okay, so hing on the bond form ಆಗ್ತದೆ. So by elimination of what? By elimination of H2O. Okay, so here what we lost from this side, here H and here OH. Okay, so this is what the bond formation in between the what we call the pentose sugar and nitrogen base. So here also the same thing, that is what we call, that is when the interaction between the CH2OH as well as the phosphate takes place, there is also elimination of what? The H2O. This elimination of H2O is going to form a bond. Okay, this bond is going to help in case of holding the sugar with that of the phosphate. So here we are going to get the interaction of the molecule and we are going to get the formation of bond. So this is what we call phosphodiester bond. This bond is called phosphodiester bond. By elimination of H2O we are going to get this, and here also we are going to get one bond. This bond is called what? That is what we call N-glycosidic bond. Okay, so here we are going to get N glycosidic bond. It may be any kind of nitrogen base. So any kind of nitrogen base. Okay, so that is any kind of nitrogen base. So consider this is as a either C or maybe T. Okay, so ಅದು C ಆದರೂ ಇರಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ T ಆದರೂ ಯಾವುದಾದರೂ ಇರಬಹುದು. Okay, so maybe sometime purine ಕೂಡ ಇರಬಹುದು. Okay, so later we will study about that, how purines are going to be interacting. Okay, so this is what the most important and basic thing which is required for the formation of the DNA, that is formation of nucleotides. ಈ nucleotides repeat ಆಗಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, so DNA is going to be constructed. Okay, so how and this reaction is going to take place where and how actually they are going to be held into a particular structure or two strand, that what we are going to study now. Okay, so hope you understood what is actually nucleotides. Okay, so the nucleotides are what? Nucleotides are the basic requirement for the construction of DNA. Okay, so now we are going to study the Watson and Crick model of DNA structure. So which they given what? That is double helix model. Okay, double helix model of the Watson and Crick model of DNA structure and I will study model now. Okay, so first we'll see what actually the requirement what you call mentioned in case of the Watson Crick model to construct the DNA, that what we are going to study now. Okay, so first thing, that is DNA is made up of two strands of polynucleotides. Okay, what is DNA strands? Actually the DNA is made up of two strands. Each strand is a single polynucleotide. So there are two different kind of polynucleotides which are running in opposite direction, we can see. Okay, so second one, two strands are running or anti-parallel to each other. Okay, so what they are? They are anti-parallel to each other. Ondakondu opposite agi run ಆಗ್ತದೆ. That how they are opposite, that I am going to show you later. Okay, so that is what they have. They are able to run the anti-parallel to each other. Okay, so that is the what? The second thing. Okay, so and this both strands. Okay, so both strands are bond. Okay, going to form a bond. Okay, so these strands are held by hydrogen bonds. Okay, each strand is held by hydrogen bonds. Okay, these are the main thing that what we can see in case of the DNA. So according to this, or by looking at this point, we can construct the DNA. Okay, so let's construct the DNA. What called, how actually it look like by using this particular the database. Okay, so ಇದನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕಾಣ್ತದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. Okay, so when you look at the DNA, so first what we require two polynucleotides. Okay, so let's construct first polynucleotide. Later we'll go to the what you called the concept of studying the complete DNA structure. Okay, so first I am going to construct the polynucleotide. Okay, so first polynucleotide na construct ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡೋಣ ಹೇಗಿರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ. Okay, so these are what we call nucleotides. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ pentose sugar ಇದೆ first. This one is pentose sugar. These three are pentose. So let's take three only. So pentose sugar is connected with what? Any kind of what we have here, that is any one type of what we call that is purines or pyrimidines, nitrogen base. This one is a nitrogen base. So you nitrogen base anta telko. This one is pentose sugar. Okay, no needed here. So just consider this as these are pentose sugars, these are nitrogen bases, and here what we have? Here we have phosphate group, isn't it? Here we have phosphate group. Okay, so consider here we have phosphate group. So first thing, that is all has to be bind to each other to form the polynucleotide chain. Okay, so polynucleotide. So ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನಮಗೆ ಈಗ polynucleotide. Okay, first we have to form the polynucleotide. Polynucleotide ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗಬೇಕಪ್ಪ? First they have to join. All nucleotides should join. Okay, so first how they are going to join? That is by interacting with the third carbon. So here carbon number is very, very important. This is first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon. First carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth, fifth will be outside. Okay, so fifth will be outside. So we have the different kind of carbon. So that is first, second, third, fourth and fifth here. So the phosphate is binded or having the bonding with that of the fifth carbon. So this fifth carbon phosphate is now going to react with third carbon OH. Okay, so or going to react with the third carbon and going to form a bond. Okay, so it is going to form bond. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ phosphodiester bond ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. This phosphodiester bond is between the two molecule, not only with that of the what you call the one sugar molecule. ಅದನ್ನು ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾವು phosphodiester bond ಅಂತ ಕರೀಬಹುದು? When it is going to have a connection with that of the two. Okay, so there I told you that is phosphodiester bond is going to form. This phosphodiester bond actually between the two sugar molecule. Okay, so this is going to react with this one and this one will be free. Okay, so here 3' or third carbon is free. Okay, so here third carbon free. Okay, so here third carbon is free. Here fifth carbon is having phosphate but still it is free. Fifth carbon free or maybe attached to the phosphate. You just consider that end is not reacted with anything else. Okay, so then what we are going to get here, that is we are able to get the polarity. So we are going to get what here? The polarity. So in previous video I told you what actually the polarity. So polarity ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? End recognize ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು standard end ಸಿಗಬೇಕು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. That is what they call polarity. So you can see now this is a one strand, it become a strand. ಒಂದು polynucleotide ಆಗಿ ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ಕಾಣ್ತದೆ ಈಗ. Okay, this is polynucleotide. It goes on increasing. So long length ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಸ್ ಪೇಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೋ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಗೆ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ polynucleotide. So this end, let's call it as 3', okay, because of 3 carbon is free, and this one is a 5' because it is free at this end. Okay, so this is what we call 3' to 5' end. Okay, this is the one strand of the DNA. So another strand will be somewhat like this. So this will be in opposite direction. That is, I told you they are going to run anti-parallel to each other. Okay, so now you are able to understand what actually the anti-parallel ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ opposite run ಆಗೋದು. Okay, so they are going to run opposite, anti-parallel to each other. So here what we have, that is first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon. The fifth carbon is forming a bond between the bond with a phosphate. So here first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, and fifth is again having phosphate. Here also saying first, second, third, fourth, and this one is a fifth phosphate. Okay, so here what we have, here we have all pyrimidines. Okay, so now we need purines. Okay, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ purine ಬೇಕು. So that's why I am going to draw like this. That is Okay, so that is here what we have, here we have a purine. Okay, so here what we have, purine, here also one purine. So I will tell you why purine only is required. Okay, so here I have one more purine. Okay, so here the ninth purine is going to interact with the sugar and going to form the bond, and this is again the phosphate is going to react with third carbon, again here third carbon. So this is going to form one more what? One more what? The polynucleotide. So here one polynucleotide, that side one more polynucleotide. So let's check the polarity. So this end is free here, that is 3 carbon is free here. This is going to form a 3' end, and here 5 carbon is free. This is going to form as 5' end. Okay, so how many what you call polynucleotide we have here? We have 2 polynucleotides. Okay, so one is running 3' to 5', another one is running 5' to 3'. Okay, so here we have nucleotides now. So 1, 2, 3. That's also 1, 2, 3. Okay, so please remember, always there is a same and what we call complementary base is available at the other side of the strand of the DNA. Okay, so just consider, if there is if there is a C, T, C here. Okay, so all are pyrimidines. This side we are going to get C is going to bind with a G. Okay, adenine and guanines are what? The pyrimidines, sorry, purines. That is, T is going to bind with the A and C is going to bind with the G. Okay, so opposite, that is A is going to bind with a T and G is going to bind with a C. Okay, one interesting thing is that A is going to bind with a T with 2 hydrogen bonds and G is going to bind with a C with 3 hydrogen bonds. Okay, so that is 3 hydrogen bonds are going to form here. Okay, so that is 3 hydrogen bonds between the G and C and 2 hydrogen bond between the A and T. Okay, so this is how the bond formation leads to the formation of DNA with a 2 strand. Okay, so idana minimize ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ನೀವು, it is going to appear somewhat like this. Okay, this is one strand, second strand. Here you are going to get many number of backbones, and here we are going to get the backbone is nothing but sugar, and here you are going to get nitrogen bases, and these bonds are because of phosphate. Okay, phosphate, here also the phosphate. Okay, so this is free this side. Okay, just consider 3' to 5'. This is 5' to 3'. Okay, so here bond formation, it may be A, T, G, C, A, T, G, C. In other words, okay, this is how actually the strand of DNA look like. So when you are going to open it, it is going to appear somewhat like this. So this is how the polynucleotide is going to form in the DNA. So this is basic requirement to know actual chemical structure of the DNA. Okay, let's study the complete structure of DNA. Okay, so you are now able to analyze what is polarity. Polarity is nothing but the end of the carbon, what actually is mentioned here, that is what we call the polarity. So every what we called the sugar is having 5' end and 3' end, which is free, that is going to be recognized by that particular carbon. Okay, so yav free ada illi 5 free idre 5' antare, 3 free idre 3' antare. So but always it is opposite to the another strand and complementary to each other. So complementary antandre A is going to bind with a T or T is going to bind with a A, G is going to bind with a C or C is going to bind with a G. That is what we call complementary strand formation. Okay, so this is regarding what? The chemical structure, how actually the DNA look like. Okay, so now we'll study in general how actually the what we call structure of the DNA appear, and we'll study actually how the DNA is going to be constructed. Okay, so you have to draw like this, that what I am doing here. Okay, so first you should make what we call one M or W. So ನಿಮ್ಮ book na ನೀವು turn ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. So ನೀವು M ಅಥವಾ W ನ ಈಸಿ ಆಗಿ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Okay, so again you have to do one more M or W here. Okay, this is what the DNA look like. Okay, so hige draw ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ. This is wrong way of drawing the, okay, this is wrong way of drawing the DNA. This is wrong. This one is the right way of drawing the DNA. Okay, so why and how it is good right way, that I am going to tell you now. Okay, so here the DNA is somewhat look like this, and these are two strands. Okay, so what you can say, this is first strand, this one is second strand of DNA. Okay, of DNA. So first and second strand, we have two strands. So you can see that strands are going to what you call overlap. Actually it is not a overlapping, it is turning. Okay, so it is twisting or turning of the DNA. So it is helical. So ನೀವು ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗಿಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಸೊ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಮೆಟ್ಲೈನ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಜಿಗ್ಜಾಗ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಸೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಪೋಲ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಸುತ್ತ ನೀವು ಮೆಟ್ಲೈನ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ DNA ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸಮ್ವಾಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಹೆಂಗಿರ್ತದಪ್ಪ, ಒಂದು ಪೋಲ್ ಸುತ್ತ ಒಂದು ಮೆಟ್ಲ ಇದ್ದ ಹಾಗೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪೈರಲ್ ವಾಟ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ದ ಲ್ಯಾಡರ್ ಇದ್ದ ಹಾಗೆ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ದಿ ಡಬಲ್ ಹೆಲಿಕ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್. ಸೊ ಹೆಲಿಕಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್. ಸೊ here this helicals are going to be held, or what we call these two strands are going to be held by the hydrogen bond. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ hydrogen bond ಇಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಬಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. Okay, so you can see here. So here also one base pair you are going to see, but actually that is what we called not viewed. So ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಕಾಣೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ತರ ಕಾಣ್ತದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. Okay, so from here to here, okay, so that is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, so here what we have, that is base pairs. Okay, so how many base pairs we have? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1 10. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 sorry 8 9, one more is here 10. Okay, so either we have to consider this one or this one. So ಇದನ್ನ ಕೌಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಬಿಡಬೇಕು, ಇದನ್ನ ಕೌಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಬಿಡಬೇಕು. Okay, that is the rule of what we called the constructing the DNA. So again same thing I am going to do here. Okay, so this is what actually DNA look like. Okay, so what is that? What is that? That is DNA is having two strands. First and second strand, both the strands are held by what? Held by the specifically hydrogen bond. And here the hydrogen bond is going to form between the what? The nitrogen bases. Okay, so between the two nucleotides or nitrogen bases. Okay, so from here to here, from here to here, from this point to this point. Okay, so you can see ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟಿನವರೆಗೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಒನ್ ಟರ್ನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಇದನ್ನ, ಅಥವಾ ಒನ್ ಟರ್ನ್ ಆರ್ ಒನ್ ಕಾಯಿಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬಹುದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಒನ್ ಟರ್ನ್ ಆರ್ ಒನ್ ಕಾಯಿಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್ ಟರ್ನ್ ಆರ್ ಒನ್ ಕಾಯಿಲ್, ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಹೀಗೆ ಎರಡು ವಾಟ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಒಂದು ಲ್ಯಾಡರ್ನ ಹಿಡಿದು ನಾವು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಟರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಟ್ವಿಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಒನ್ ಟರ್ನ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್ ಟರ್ನ್ ಇಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ two points or two what we called the depressions here. So first one is very large or very deep. So this one is called major groove. Okay, then ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ? Major groove ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Okay, and this one is called minor groove. Okay, this one is called minor groove. So you can see the depth is very what you call wide here. Okay, so wide ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ depth ಬಹಳ ಇದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ width ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ depth ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ. This is what we call minor groove and this one is a major groove. So a single turn of the DNA in a whole DNA structure, when you are going to take a single turn of DNA is able to what we called have 10 base pairs and one minor groove and one major groove. So every DNA in one turn they are going to have the one major groove and one minor groove. So types adave alli bere agtada, but this one is the standard diagram of the DNA. So there you are going to get one major groove and one minor groove. Okay, so one major groove, one minor groove, and here we are going to get 10 base pairs. You are able to understand what actually the base pair now. So when one strand from here, if you have T from another strand, you are going to get the A. Okay, so they are going to bind with the two hydrogen bonds. So this together, this is what is called one base pair. So hantavalli ಎಷ್ಟು base pairs idavappa? 10 base pairs idave. Okay, so how many base pairs we have? 10 base pairs. For how many turns? One turn. Okay, so for one turn, how many base pairs we are going to get? 10 base pairs. BP andre base pairs. Okay, so we have 10 base pairs for a particular turn or single turn of DNA. So each base pair is present 3.4 angstrom unit from each other. Okay, so it is situated from one each other, that is 3.4 angstrom unit. Okay, so illi nodri, if you are going to consider this is a G going to bind with a C. Okay, so in a particular DNA, this G and C distance, or next if you have what you called one more, that is A is bind with a T. Okay, so and before or between this and this. Okay, so from first base pair to second base pair is 3.4 angstrom unit. Okay, the distance is, and from second to third again that is 3.4 angstrom unit. So that's why the each base pair is away from each other at the what you call distance of 3.4 angstrom unit. So the total length of one turn then become 10 base pairs into 3.4 angstrom. Okay, so how many base pairs we have? 10 base pairs, and how many what is the distance between the each base pair? 3.4 angstrom. Then it is going to form of or going to produce a length of 34 angstrom. So what is the length of a single turn? That is 34 angstrom unit. Okay, so ಒಂದು coil ಅಥವಾ one turn length ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ತದೆ? 34 angstrom ಇರ್ತದೆ. Okay, and the width, okay, so from here to here. Okay, so hope you able to see this. Okay, so from here illinda illivarge, this is what we call the diameter. Okay, this is what we call the diameter. So diameter of the DNA is 20 angstrom. Okay, so what is the diameter of the what we called the DNA? That is 20 angstrom. So the length is 34 angstrom, one turn. Okay, so diameter of the what we called the DNA is 20 angstrom. So diameter is never going to change. It is same for whole DNA. So one DNA na ಮೇಲಿಂದ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ it is going to appear circular. So ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಪೋಲ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದರ ಸುತ್ತ ನಮಗೆ ಏನು ಕಾಣ್ತದೆ? ಮೆಟ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ನಾವೇನಾದರೂ ಮೆಟ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮೇಲಿಂದ ಈಗ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ನಾವೀಗ ಚಾಪೀಸ್ನ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮೇಲಿಂದ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ you are going to get the diameter of the Chopis. Okay, so like this, the DNA is having diameter of 20 angstrom. Okay, this is what actually the structure of DNA. So that what we can see, that is the what we call turns. So DNA is coiled. Okay, so extra length here. So for example, so if I am going to draw DNA like this. Okay, so that is all are having, okay, so you are going to get here many turns. Okay, so illi more turn bantu, more turn alli you can get one major groove, one minor groove, one major groove, one minor groove, one major groove, one minor groove. Got it? And also you are going to get 10 base pairs. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so you are going to get what? The 10 base pair each, and you are going to get the same diameter. Diameter ellu change agilla nodri. Okay, diameter never going to change. This is 20 angstrom and each one is having 34 angstrom. If you are going to convert this to the nanometer, then this will be 3.4 nanometer. Adu 3.4 nanometer agi neevu adana convert madabodu. That is 34 divided by 10. Okay, so that is a 3.4 nanometer. Okay, so we come to know that what actually DNA is and how it is constructed by using the nucleotides, and what actually the length of the DNA for one turn, and how the diameter as well as the turns are available in case of DNA. Okay, so one more scientist, that is Edward Chargaff. Okay, so a scientist called Edward Chargaff constructed or given a rule. Okay, so that is what we call Chargaff's rule. Okay, so he made a rule, or he given a rule regarding the DNA structure. That is what we call Chargaff's rule. So Edward Chargaff. So if you are going to consider the DNA, in the DNA, that is DNA is constructed by purines and pyrimidines. Okay, that is true. That is what we studied. Okay, so now Edward Chargaff ಅವರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಎಲ್ಲ DNA purines and pyrimid ಇಂದ ಮಾಡಲ್ಪಟ್ಟಿರುತ್ತವೆ. Okay, second one. So purines are A and B, and pyrimidines are G and C. Okay, so DNA alli purines A ಮತ್ತೆ T ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ pyrimidines G ಮತ್ತೆ C ಇರ್ತವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. Third one, that is always A is going to bind with T with 2 hydrogen bonds. Okay, and G is going to bind with C with 3 hydrogen bonds. Okay, so third point, that is A jothe T bind agutte avattu, athwa T jothe A bind agutte, G jothe C bind agutte with a 3 hydrogen bond, and A with a T with 2 hydrogen bond anta helidru. And totally always in our DNA, A plus G ratio is always equal to C plus T anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Okay, so a number of A plus G is always equal to C plus T. Okay, so ಅದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನಪ್ಪ, if we have in a DNA, if we have 2A, okay, and 2G, then this A is going to bind with a T, and here also T, here C, and here C. So what do you mean by that? The number of what we call A plus G. Okay, so for example, if there are 2A plus 2G, then definitely there should be 2T and 2C. Okay, that is always 4 is equal to 4. Got it? So there is always the A plus G is equal to C plus T. This is what we call base equivalence rule. So complementary base agodinda DNA alli A plus G what we have in a DNA is always equal to C plus T percentage. So if A plus G is a 50 percentage, okay, totally, okay, it's a 50 percentage, then there should be always C and T percentage should be 50%. So for example, a simple example I am going to give here, that is in a DNA. Okay, so nimge MCQ barbodu, needly very important this one. MCQ, different kind of MCQ nimge kelbodu. So varieties of MCQs idave, adanna ನಾವು MCQ need discussion ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಮಾಡೋದಂತೆ. So but a simple example I am going to give here. So in a DNA, if A is 30%, just consider if A is 30%, then are we able to identify the percentage of C? Okay, so now here A is going to, according to the Chargaff rule, A is going to bind with the T and G is going to bind with the C. So but in a DNA, if we know the percentage of A, are we able to calculate the percentage of C? Yes, we can. So how? So if A is 30%, so a poort DNA na consider madadaga, ee DNA na consider madadaga ನಾವು ಏನು consider ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ 100% ಅಂತ consider ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. So total number of base pairs, it may be 1000, 1500, 10,000, 20,000, 1 lakh, 1 million ಎಷ್ಟಾದರೂ ಇರಲಿ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ 100% ಅಂತ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ if 30% of A is there, then T should be 30%. Why? Because of Chargaff rule. Okay, because of Chargaff rule that A is always equal to T. Okay, so A is always equal to T. So because A is going to bind with the T. So you got 10 A's idre alli namage 10 T's irlebeku. Okay, so that is what? If A is 30%, then definitely T is 30%. So total is what? Total is 60%. Okay, ella seri 60% ಆಯ್ತು. So what is that 60%? A plus T is equal to 60%. So ಇದನ್ನ 100% ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈನಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. So then what we are going to get? 40%. So 40% of what we have? G plus C. ನಮಗೆ ಏನು ಸಿಕ್ತು? 40% of G plus C ಸಿಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ so we can easily say now that C is 20%, because you know very well that G plus C is always going to be showing a equal amount of bases. Okay, G is 20%, there should be C which is also 20%. So the answer is 20%. So ಇದನ್ನ 40% ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? divided by 2 ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ 20% G ಆಗ್ತದೆ, 20% C ಆಗ್ತದೆ. So total 100% DNA ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ construct ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. So whatever it may be. Okay, so it may be the what you call prokaryotic DNA, it may be eukaryotic DNA, or it may be what we call the DNA in case of the what you call the mitochondria, it may be DNA in case of some chloroplast, whatever it may be. So DNA ಎಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ಇರಲಿ, there should be 2 strands if it is a double stranded DNA. Okay, ಇದನ್ನ dsDNA ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Okay, what they are going to call it as dsDNA. If there is a double stranded DNA, the double stranded DNA is going to follow the rules given by Edward Chargaff. So the limitation of Chargaff rule is what? That is, we can apply this Chargaff rule only to the double stranded DNA. So why? Because according to Chargaff, there should be always complementary base pairing. So always ಏನಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಡ್ ಇದ್ರೆ DNA ಒಂದು complementary base pairing ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ we are always going to get double stranded DNA in this particular manner. Okay, what is that? Always A is equal to T and G is equal to C. Okay, so the very interesting thing is that ಸೊ ಎ ಮತ್ತು ಟಿ ನಡುವೆ 2 ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂಡ್ ಜಿ ಮತ್ತು ಸಿ ನಡುವೆ 3 ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ if hydrogen bond, number of hydrogen bond between that AT and GC are varying, so why not there is a change in the distance between the two strands? Okay, so now we will strand draw ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲೇನಾರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ so AT GCC, okay, so here also that is CGG, okay, so A so double bond, triple bond, double bond, double bond. Okay. So notidaga there are 3 hydrogen bonds and 2 hydrogen bonds, but there is still the maintenance of the distance between the two molecules or two what we call the polynucleotide. Polynucleotide diameter avatu vary agtilla. There may be a change in the hydrogen bond, but there is no change in the diameter. Why? Because hydrogen bond is having the standard distance. Okay, so only hydrogen bond ಇದೆ. Okay, so hydrogen bond ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ number of hydrogen bond ಎಷ್ಟಾದರೂ ಆಗಲಿ but distance will be remain similar. Why? Because it is having a standard rule for formation. That is a very important thing. The base pairing ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿ what we call the angle of rotation is going to play a very important role to maintain the diameter or the distance between the two strands. Okay, that is very important. That is a chemical what we call property of this DNA that is going to maintain the or chemical rotation ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅಥವಾ angle change of what we call availability change ಅಥವಾ plane attachment of the molecule to the sugar is going to change. That's why there is a what is standard distance between the two molecules. Hydrogen bond ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ distance similar ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರಬಹುದು, but here because of hydrogen bond change ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. So there is always a constant diameter maintained throughout the DNA molecule. Okay, this is regarding what the DNA, the Chargaff rule, and how actually the base equivalence rule is going to what we called play important role in case of construction of the DNA. Okay, so next one in this only, that is last topic of the DNA structure, that is types of DNA. Types of DNA. So there are many types of DNA we are going to get. So mainly the DNA types are Z, A, B, C, D. Okay, so there are 5 types of DNA what we can see in the nature. Okay, so ಕೆಲವೊಂದು experimentally ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ prove ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. That is types of DNA na ನಾವು ನೋಡಬಹುದು. Okay, so that is so the different kind of DNA we have. That is what we call B form, sorry, Z form of DNA, A form of DNA, B form of DNA, C form of DNA, D form of DNA. Okay, so there are different kind of forms. So how we are going to name them? We are going to name them by using what we call a single turn base pair. One turn ಅಲ್ಲಿ single turn ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಸ್ ಪೇರ್ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನೋಡಿ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ DNA types na ನಾವು calculate ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Okay, so first one, that is zDNA is having 12 base pair per turn. Okay, per turn ಅಥವಾ ಏನಬಹುದು per coil ಅಂತಾನೂ ಕರೀಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ per gyre ಅಂತಾನೂ ಕರೀಬಹುದು. Okay, so A is going to have 11 base pairs per coil. Okay, so ಒಂದು coil ಒಂದು length ಗೆ ಅದೇನಾಗ್ತದೆ, it is having 11 base pairs. So B is having 10 base pairs per coil and C is having 9.6 base pairs per coil ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Okay, D form is having 8 base pairs per coil. Okay, so that is Z is having 12 base pair, A is having 11 base pair, B is having 10 base pairs, and C is having 9.6 base pairs, and B is having 8 base pairs. Okay, so now what we studied in the structure of DNA is B form of DNA. Okay, that is what B form of DNA normally study ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. And one more important thing is that there are 2 types of DNA according to the angle of rotation. So ಅದು ಹೆಂಗೆ rotate ಆಗ್ತದಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಎರಡು ತರ what we call DNA ನ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. One is called right hand turn a right side. If it's going to turn a left side, it's left-handed DNA. So except Z DNA, all the DNAs are right-handed DNA. So Z DNA is left-handed DNA. So yella DNA that is right-handed DNA, and only Z is a what you call, you can say it is the left-handed DNA. So all the right-handed DNA. So B form DNA is a most what you call common form of DNA. Okay. So this B form of DNA is also called as what you call that is the bioform anta kartare. Idina very common DNA anta kartare. Okay. So this B form is very common in case of all the organisms. Is called biotic form. Biotic form okay, sometimes it's going to be called as biotic form. So very important for meat purpose. So because sometimes they may ask this kind of question in a NEET examination. So what this is what actually the types of DNA what we can say in the nature. And a very important thing, that is what we call the stability of the DNA in case of the temperature or nature. Okay, stability of the DNA. So DNA is going to show what we call two property. Okay, so what is that? That is the melting point as well as the what we call denature and renature form. Okay, so our denature as well as renature property. Okay, denature ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ melting ಆಗೋದು ಅಥವಾ destroy ಆಗೋದು. So when we are going to give 90 degrees Celsius of temperature to the DNA, it is going to get denatured. Adu enagtade? So these bonds, hydrogen bonds are going to be break down and going to break and going to separate. Each strand is going to be separated from each other. That is what we call denature of the DNA. Renature of DNA is possible. So when we are going to reduce the temperature. Okay. So usually that is what we call in a room temperature, or maybe in case of the temperature, laboratory temperature, the standard temperature, we can renature it. So it is around 25 degrees Celsius. Okay. So there the DNA can be reconstructed itself. Okay. So the hydrogen bond na form ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬೇಕು. If the denature timing is not so high. Okay. Time bhala lengthy illappa antandre, so after immediately coming back to the 25 degrees Celsius, it can easily what we call reconstruct itself. That is what we call the renature of the DNA. And very important thing, that is melting point of DNA depends on type of what you call base pairs present in the you can say, or nitrogen base is present in the DNA. Okay, so depends on what? The nitrogen base. Okay, depends on type of nitrogen bases. Okay, so how the melting point is dependent on the type of nitrogen bases? Yes, I am going to explain here. So you know very well, that is A is going to bind with T with a 2 hydrogen bond, and G is going to bind with C with a 3 hydrogen bond. So number of hydrogen bond is going to decide the melting point. Okay, so the answer or the property which is depend or going to make DNA more stable, that is the number of G and C percentage. Okay, so if you are going to say if a DNA is having more percentage of G and C, then the melting point of the DNA will be high. If it is having a less G and C, then the melting point will be less. Okay, so for example, so if a DNA is having about 70 to 80% of G-C ratio to that of the A and T, then it is having high melting point. Okay, it is going to have the high melting, can be seen as the DNAs are having high melting point. If the percentage of G and C is 20 to 30%, okay, G and C ratio is it is comparatively low melting point. Okay, it is low, having low melting point. So it is depends on what the number of G and C which are present in case of the specifically what we can say that is the total length or the total DNA content in the cell. Okay, one cell ಒಳಗಡೆ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅದರೊಳಗಿರೋ DNA ಎಷ್ಟು ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸಿಯಸ್ ಗೆ ಮೆಲ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ we have to calculate the amount of G and C ratio. Okay, so and also very important thing is that so we can easily construct the DNA if we know one strand. Okay, so one strand ನಮಗೆ ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಡ್ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೆಡಿಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. That is one of the property in case of DNA. Okay, just consider this is first strand, this is second strand. Okay, if I am going to give you first strand DNA as if this DNA strand, single DNA strand is having A, T, T, G, G, C, 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 T, A. Then are you able to predict the second strand? Yes, it is possible. So how? Because A is going to bind with the T, T is going to bind with the A, and T is going to bind with the A, and G, C, again G, C, C, G, again C, G, again C, G, T, A, and A, T. So by knowing the one strand what we call property, we can predict the other strand what it may be having. Okay, so accurately we can say that. So A idre T idre irtade. Okay, T idre A idre irtade ಅಥವಾ G idre C irtade ಅಥವಾ C idre G irtade ಈಜಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಹೇಳಬಹುದು. But the polarity is going to change. 3' to 5' idre ಈ ಕಡೆ 5' to 3' irtade. That is the opposite. They are running in opposite direction. This is what we call anti-parallel running of the what we call DNA strands. So this is about the DNA structure and the types of the DNA and what we call the property of the DNA. So there is a renaturation as well as denaturation as well as the melting point variation as well as the construction of DNA by knowing the one strand property. Okay, so this is about the DNA structure. So in next class we are going to study about the how actually the DNA is